In an uncertain world where the shadows of global conflict loom large, the unthinkable whispers on the horizon. World War III. While we all fervently hope for lasting peace, preparedness is the lifeline that ensures our survival in times of extreme adversity. Everyone is concerned about the conflict between Palestine and Israel. Thousands of people are losing their lives on a daily basis. Powerful nations like China and America are getting into verbal wars. Again, the war between Russia and Ukraine dividing the world because of people's separate opinions. Everything indicates that our planet is on the brink of another world war. But as a civilian, you feel like the only thing you can do is wait for updates on what will happen next. But then you see a massive explosion off in the distance, and your whole house begins to shake. The first attacks are underway, and with no official government plan on how to stay safe, your fate is in your own hands. International relationships are pretty tense right now, so the idea of a global war breaking out isn't far-fetched. Some countries, such as Sweden, Germany, and Lithuania, are even educating their citizens on preparing for a potential war. So, should you start preparing too? Here are some tips to help you survive. Number 1. Stay informed. In any crisis, information is your most powerful ally. Stay tuned to reliable news sources to stay informed about the global situation, government directives, and potential threats. Having up-to-date information can help you make informed decisions about your next steps. Number 2. Disaster planning. Some people might think you're crazy, but it's never too early to start planning for a national emergency. You'll need a basic emergency survival kit. It doesn't have to be too complicated, just some basic supplies in an easy-to-carry bag or container. You should have things like water, non-perishable food, a first aid kit, any essential medications, and some multi-purpose tools. Once you have your kit together, start working on an emergency plan. Discuss emergency meeting locations in the event of an attack. Decide on safe, familiar places where your family can go for protection or to reunite. And make sure to practice this emergency plan. It will be very easy to forget all the details during the hysteria of a national crisis. And that brings us to our next point. Number 3. Staying calm. Yes, this is easier said than done. But in a crisis, logic should guide your decisions over emotions. In times of danger, seek safety by moving away from windows and large objects and heading to lower levels in your home. If you reside in a multi-story building, opt for stairs, not elevators. Being underground, such as in a basement during an attack, can lower injury risks. After the initial attack, assess your home's suitability as a shelter, and if it's severely damaged, evacuate and find alternative safe accommodations. Number 4. Avoiding targets. Now that your city is under attack, you're best to get away from anything that might be the next target of a strike. This means any important or famous buildings, monuments, large bridges, tunnels, and known military bases. You'll want to hit the roads quickly because it's only a matter of time before there's chaos on the streets. Use a detailed map to find alternative routes out of the city with less traffic during an evacuation. GPS phone applications are good too, but you won't know how long you can rely on cell networks. Number 5. Create a safe shelter. Identify a secure location where you can take shelter in case of imminent danger. Consider reinforcing your home or finding a nearby underground structure. Having a well-protected shelter can provide safety and peace of mind. Number 6. Learn survival skills. Acquire essential survival skills such as first aid, fire-making, and self-defense. These skills can be invaluable in a post-apocalyptic world where access to modern conveniences may be limited. Consider taking courses or reading survival manuals. Number 7. Creating a bugout bag. A well-prepared bugout bag is essential for unpredictable situations. Key items to include are non-perishable food and clean drinking water, a compact tent, a reliable sleeping bag, climate-appropriate clothing, extra socks, air filtration mask, and sturdy footwear for comfort and protection. Prioritizing safety, equip your bag with a comprehensive first aid kit containing bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and any necessary prescription medications. Tools are vital too, so ensure you have a versatile multi-tool, a reliable flashlight with extra batteries, fire-starting materials, and a portable stove. Depending on local laws and personal preferences, consider adding self-defense items like firearms, ensuring compliance with safety and regulations. Customize your bug-out bag meticulously to match your specific needs and location. Regularly reviewing and updating its contents is crucial to maintain functionality and relevance. Your bug-out bag remains a reliable lifeline for safety and preparedness in an uncertain world. Possibilities of nuclear conflict. In the context of World War III, one of the most chilling prospects is the use of nuclear weapons. The destructive power of nuclear warheads is unparalleled, with the potential to cause massive devastation on a global scale. The major catalysts for nuclear conflict often include political tensions, miscalculations, or a breakdown in diplomatic relations between nuclear-armed nations. Here are some key considerations. Escalation. In a major global conflict, the escalation from conventional warfare to nuclear strikes can happen swiftly, especially if nations involved possess nuclear arsenals. The use of nuclear weapons can be a last resort, but in a crisis, that threshold might be crossed. Mutually assured destruction. The doctrine of MAD posits that the use of nuclear weapons by one nation would lead to the annihilation of both the aggressor and the target. This concept has deterred large-scale nuclear conflicts, but the unpredictability of international politics makes it essential to be prepared for any eventuality. Aftermath of nuclear war. If a global war breaks out in this day and age, nuclear weapons will likely be used, and that really complicates your emergency plan. If you see a nuclear flash, the first thing to do is get behind a barrier in case the shockwave comes your way. And then you've got to find an enclosed shelter quickly. You've only got about 15 to 20 minutes before nuclear fallout starts coming down. So, cover your mouth and nose with a rag and close your eyes. Yes, this may make it more difficult to locate shelter, but it will protect you from possible nuclear fallout. Try to get to the inner part of a building, somewhere you could be protected by thick concrete and ideally be underground. Once you've found shelter, be sure to remove your outer layer of clothing and your mouth cover. Seal them in a plastic bag and clean yourself as soon as possible. And then get comfortable. You'll want to stay in your shelter for at least a day to ensure the dangers of radiation have been eliminated. While the prospect of a world war is daunting, it is crucial to be prepared for the worst. By understanding the threat, preparing a bug-out location, storing essential supplies, building a community, and staying informed, individuals can increase their chances of survival in the event of a global conflict. It is important to keep in mind that preparation is key, and taking the necessary steps now can make a significant difference in the event of a crisis. In conclusion, while the prospect of a world war is unsettling, taking the necessary steps to prepare can give individuals and communities a better chance of survival. It is important to stay informed and stay vigilant, but with the right preparation, it is possible to weather even the most devastating of crises.